Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Oracle of Delphi, or welcome if you're new to my channel. And I have my soul sister from across the pond from the UK, my second home, my sister from another mister, Azria. How are you today, Azria?
I'm doing so well, thank you. It's always so amazing to be on here and continue our discussions. Yeah, it's definitely getting colder here in the UK, but other than that, life's good.
I know. I don't. We turned back the clocks here in the U.S. this past weekend, and I know you guys did last week over there in England as well. And it's getting dark at like 4:30 now, which I hate. And it's just makes you want to go to bed at 7. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Oh, I feel you. It's kind of like the days cut in half. It's I mean, it happens every year. I mean, I don't know why we're surprised. It happens like every year. It's like we've had all our was it Samhain festivals and everything like that. So we've definitely gone from the lighter to the darker, but now it's time to just settle in and get warm and yeah, see what winter has to bring for us. And
Yeah.
the end of the year, most importantly, I think, especially going from 25 to 26. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm most looking forward to, because I think everyone's tired of 2025. We need to move into 26 now.
Yeah, we do. I'm done with it. I'm done. And a lot's going to happen between now at the end of the year because we know 2026 is going to be the golden age. And with that golden age is going to be disclosure, and more specifically, disclosure of our off world or other dimensional, interdimensional friends and family that have been cloaked or not cloaked in our skies. There are thousands and thousands of craft, spaceships, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, our star family. Not the bad ones, because the bad ones are not our star family, and they've pretty much been quarantined. They've been kicked they've been kicked off Earth, and they've been kicked out of our skies, okay? From the good peeps, our good peeps. However, we are in the age of full disclosure. And if you go up and look, more often than not, you will see things. They
Yeah.
want to be seen. Well, I've been getting very clearly that they are tired of the quarantine. They're tired of waiting for the powers that be on Earth that want to stop the disclosure and feel that humans are not ready to meet our galactic family, which is a bunch of bullshit. We know that. We're so ready. We know that they're real. There's been way too many instances, back about even 15, 20 years ago. I think the mainstream, it was still debatable whether or not extraterrestrials existed. And I think 9 out of 10 people nowadays will say they're absolutely real. And why? Because we have these. Everyone has a recorder in a phone. And so many videos around the world have been uploaded on the internet. So there's no way that they can say that it's not real. I've seen one. We've all seen them. Azria and I were at JISIG back in May of this year, and we saw some amazing craft in the sky, both that have humans on board and non-humans, through the Galactic Federation of Worlds. We all know that we have a secret military that's been working with off-worlders, and the off-worlders, the interdimensional beings, are the ones that took care of the really egregious hybrid interdimensional beings that were down below in those tunnels and on this earth, the cryptids that a regular human could not take on. So we needed otherworldly interdimensional help, so to speak. So we're going to get into it today, folks. Azria is going to focus more on the Three-Eye Atlas, and I'm going to, because I live in the U.S. and Area 51's in the U.S., and I lived right outside of Area 51 in Las Vegas for many years, I'm going to take the Area 51 crash and or landing today. So I have a few announcements, and then we're going to get to the show. First and foremost, Azria has just refurbished and redone her website. So I'm going to give you a quick peek at Azria's new website. All the information on how to get in touch with Azria, as well as her new website, will be under the description of the show. I always pronounce this wrong. Is this Alarian resonance, right, Azria?
There we go. Yeah, perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful new website that she has redone. And I have to tell you, folks, Azria is not just my soul sister. She has helped me tremendously in all aspects of my life. I cannot tout her services enough. She's helped me with readings, connected me with my star family, just everything. So if you can, take a look at Asria's website, take advantage of her different readings, her different services. She is extremely, extremely talented psychic medium. She has all kinds of talents. All right. Also, folks, I don't know if this will let me go right to it. No, I'll have to stop sharing and switch over. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a psychic live, and I'm going to share my screen again. Now, it's going to be a little different. Instead of doing the regular general readings, I'm doing year-end forecast readings and yes or no questions, okay? So if you want to purchase a reading for tomorrow night, you have to go underneath the video, underneath the show, and you can click on these two individual links. You can click on this link and it'll take you to the personal year-end forecast readings. Now, folks, I've already had people not follow directions and not read. I'm not trying to be mean, folks, but when you don't follow directions, you make more work for my assistant, Paula. It says personal year-end forecast reading. It doesn't say a general reading. So that means that you can't buy a year-end forecast reading and then want a general reading or ask a question. It doesn't work that way, okay? So please try to follow directions and read so you don't make more work and so there's no confusion, okay? I'm not trying to be like a school teacher, but, you know, people, I need you to read and follow directions. All right. So this is for a personal year-end forecast reading. That's obviously for the next 2 months, is a reading for the next 2 months till the end of the year. And there's yes or no questions. Now, again, I don't mean to be a school teacher, a yes or no question is a yes or no question. That means you have to phrase it in the form of a yes or no question. You wouldn't think I have to say this 4 times, but I do. So like I said, if you please make sure that you purchase the right readings, the right type of readings, and you follow directions. All the information to purchase a reading for tomorrow night is underneath the thumbnail of the show. If you go underneath in the description of the show. Now, I only have, it says limited slots available because I don't want to be on for 3 hours. So there's a limited amount for general, let's say there's a limited amount of personal year-end forecast readings, and there's a limited amount of yes or no questions. So if you're interested, get your questions in ASAP, because once I'm sold out, because I don't want to be on for 5 hours. It's not good for anybody. And I appreciate it. Again, I don't mean to sound like a school teacher. It's just that Paula's like, people don't follow directions and you make more work for her. And she's only supposed to work part-time. And sometimes she has to work full-time because people don't want to read and follow directions. So I love you, but please read and follow directions so you don't drive Paula crazy. All right. And I think that's it. Touting my services. And this is going to be we're taping this Thursday. It's the 6th of November. Asri and I are taping this in the afternoon, and we'll put this on later on tonight. So we'll both be lurking in the chat. Yes, we shall lurk. We shall lurk. So why don't we start with 3i Atlas? I have a little video that I want to show, and it's a news forecast. So I'm not going to show the full video. However, I'm just going to show a little bit of new information about the 3i Atlas, saying it doesn't have a tail, and a little information that was, listen, it's on NBC News, with the lamestream media. I don't usually use them. However, this is about the 3i Atlas. So we're going to show not the full video because it's about 4 minutes long, but just a little bit about some new information regarding the 3i Atlas. And here we go.
We've got a big update, a huge update on our favorite interstellar object. It could be the biggest update in the solar system. Take a look at this. This is 3I Atlas. You know how the last time we talked about it, it went behind the sun, then it got brighter, then it got bluer, then it started to go faster, non-gravitational acceleration? Well, guess what? We just got new images of it, and to add some more strangeness to the 3I Atlas saga, because, like, I don't want to overhype this, but yeah, you see, that's a comet. It does not have a very big, very noticeable cometary tail. That's what we were thinking we were going to see. So let's get straight over to Harvard astronomer, Professor Avi Loeb, the world-renowned expert on all these things, all things interstellar. Professor, the last time we spoke, which was like the day before yesterday, you were saying that when it went behind the sun, the natural explanation for the non-gravitational acceleration and the thrust might be because it burned off a bunch of chemicals or something, and that was giving it the thrust to the tune of like 13%, and we would see a humongous tail maybe. What is going on?
Sorry. I said I'm going to stop it right there because we don't need to hear some suit, some scholar that's going to tell you that it's not that it's, it's a comet, blah, 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 blah. So I stopped it right there. Could you hear it a little better this time, Azria? You're on mute, honey.
On mute. Now I'm on mute.
I know, I do it too. See, now we learned after our last live that every time I share a video, I have to put it on mute. So I'm going to be.
It was perfect. It was perfect. This is all good.
All right. So Azria, I'm going to bring up a picture, and why don't you tell us what you got from your guides, from your interdimensional star family, and everything that you received over the last few days since we talked about doing the show, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, this is very, very exciting, and no, thank you for this. So before we go into it, like they said in the video, I mean, this was first discovered back in July 2025, so beginning of this year, and what people have put it down to is a comet. So from us on Earth, our technology is picking it up as that, with the different electromagnetic fields, i.e. what that gentleman was just saying with regards to the sun. However, what I'm getting, so just a little bit of context, if I may, because I know that I've come on Dee's show a number of times and spoken about the scholars. So the scholars are the Star Being Collective who I work with. So there's more than 27 different races of beings. So within the work that I do, that I connect with through transmissions. So I'm not going to go down that road too much, but just to put it as where I'm getting sort of my information from. A little bit of it will be from what I've researched, but I will certainly say exactly what has come from them directly. So with me, I don't necessarily channel, it's more of a transmission. So when you hear me say the word transmission, that's when I'm receiving the information, because I see each of us as being a little bit of a radio. So, and we tune in to the different frequencies. We tune in to the different vibrations of who and what is around us. And that is absolutely key when it comes to this 3i Atlas, because what I'm being told, again, by the scholars, and I think it has been mentioned around, is that what else this object, and I'm going to call it an object because, again, on Earth we're referring to it as a comet, but there has been more than one, and this is where I will refer to my notes, more than one of these in our solar system in the past 8 to 10 years. The first one being in 2017. Now, there is a long name for this one, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce it because I'm going to butcher it to death. Dee tried to do it earlier and it's just kind of like, no, we'll stay clear of that one. But there was one in 2017. There was 1A Atlas, then a name. Then there was one a couple of years later. But again, these were a lot smaller. So where we're saying this is the first of its kind, it's not. So this one is just, it's being brought to the front more. We are being more made aware of it, not only with the way technology's moved on our side around the internet and social media and all that type of stuff, but what people within themselves are feeling. And this is where I'm going to come back to the frequency and vibration, because what else is it's giving off are these other frequencies that are supporting Gaia, that are supporting the earth. And where it's supporting the earth is also supporting us. Because remember, we are, and as you were saying, kind of going through this, I did write it down exactly what they said earlier in regards to, it's kind of like this constructed period of evolution. Sorry, I can't even read my own handwriting here. But we need a little bit of help, because as a race, we're finding it very difficult to show and feel, for an example, and this is a very, very brief example, love for each other as one and for the planet. And also, one of the things that they really, really reminded me of as well, and again, it was referring back to what Dee was just saying there about our star being, our intergalactic families, our intergalactic lineages. So not only are we starting to be more aware and connecting with them ourselves, but there will be this time and place where more of these beings will be coming to Earth. Because not only do we're talking about this level of disclosure, me personally, I think disclosure happened a couple of years ago. Because you know that saying, life happens as you're planning it. Yeah? Well, all of these little things are happening every single day. We've got what's happening in Nevada. We've got 3i Atlas. We've got people channeling. We've got people referring to themselves as star seeds. We've got light language coming through, and that gives me goosebumps every time. So we do have that level of communication already. We do have, but it's actually bringing the beings themselves down. And also, if we think about it from another level, the children that are coming through now and the babies that are being born, remember we've got those different waves. So you've got the different waves of star seeds. So you've got the violet children, you've got the crystal children, and so on. At the moment, we're looking at the hybrids. So we're looking at those children and babies that are being born who are very, very much way more awake than, say, my generation or older. We've sort of built things up over time where they kind of pop out and go, wow, they feel everything and everywhere. But then we're moving on to the Earth, and this planet has been being watched by, again, referring to what Dee was saying around the different galactic councils for a very, very long time. There was a time and a place within our evolution where we were kind of left on our own for a little while, where it kind of became like a no-fly zone, if you like. So it's kind of like, let's just see how they get on. But now, as I said, we've come to a point in our evolution where it's kind of like, okay, let's start sending down these frequencies to not only help the human being, but to help the earth get to a certain frequency and vibration so that they can actually come down. Because it's kind of like, if we go up into, well, I'm not even going to start the argument of going into space and gravity because we'll be here all night. But it's like us going up there is kind of like, we wouldn't be able to breathe, for an example. But I'll leave that discussion for another day. Just one other thing I wanted to add on there as well was as I said, I've already mentioned about the broadcasting different frequencies. The actual comet itself. Now, one of the main questions that I did ask, and I wasn't too sure how this response was going to come through, or if indeed I'd understand it, because there are some amazing people doing some amazing work. I mean, you got the theoretic, I can never say that word, but the physicists, you've got the astrophysicists, you've got people like Stefan Burns, etc., who are providing all this information. So I thought, right, what are my guys going to say? And it was the case of where people are saying that we've got star beings and aliens in this comet. Well, from what I got, that's neither true nor false. And the reason I say that, well, not me, the reason they say that is because if we look at all the different types of ships and arcs, they mainly refer to them as arcs, but like motherships, a lot of those are worked and driven, if you like, or flown through telepathy, through the consciousness. So, as I said, their technology and our technology is, I mean, it's like with that little transistor radio to digital radios now. They're way, way more advanced. So where in our human brain, we are trying to process things to get a specific answer to say, it's this, it's that, it's got this technology, it's got those beings in. And I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong, but what they were telling me is that, yes, actually, we are in it, but we're not, because we're controlling it through technology that you wouldn't even understand yet.
So it's not just a comment. It's not just a comment. Sorry.
No, absolutely not. Oh, and I definitely get shingles when I say that. But it's definitely not just a comet. It is supporting the evolutionary process of Earth. Because, as I said, all of these different races have been watching us, because we're like the soap opera, if you like, of all the different galaxies. And the one thing that I did have a look at as well, and a lot of these scientists and that are saying, well, starting to say now, which I find extraordinary, is that it's material, it's made up, they're starting to put together if this is right or this is wrong. And I really wish I'd jotted down the chap who's that I got this from. But it's the material that it's actually made out of is actually comes from outside of our own star system. It was almost as though like the one in 2017 was like a test. So I'm like, let's see if they can see it. Because again, if you think about it, how things move on, we've gone from little dots in the sky to bigger, bigger. And I think the other thing I would say to that as well is be aware. There is a lot of information that's being shared. And as Dee showed that video earlier, is when we're talking about mainstream media, I believe there will be a scare tactic at some point. Oh, the aliens are coming. It's going to crash in. It's going to crash into the earth. Me personally, and what I've been receiving, it's not, because it's helping us. It's not trying to destroy us. They want to come down here and start living amongst us, not blow it up into smithereens.
Exactly.
So I do feel that one thing I would say to you as you're sitting there now is also, again, have a look at all these different things that are happening. For example, the last show we done was around, obviously, the Schumann resonance. So have a look. What is A3I Atlas doing? What is the resonance doing? Has there been any more visibility in the skies? Start joining the dots. is what I got. Because they look at the bigger picture. They don't just look at this little, what do they call it? Little scout ship that's above LA that somebody's put over social media and is incredible, which is incredible, don't get me wrong. And I think it's absolutely fantastic the amount of people that share all their experiences and what they see. But again, just look at all the different aspects. And then lastly, what I'd like to say is, and you think, oh yeah, that's all well and good. A comet in the sky, yeah, it's sending all these things down. Well, what does that mean for me? What does that, yeah, okay, the Schumann resonance might be a little bit off or whatever the case may be. But as I said before, with these different frequencies, feel at what it is doing to you. Because at the end of the day, remember, we are going into a time when we are going back to our original blueprint. Yes. We are going back to our authenticity. We are going back, or forward even, into a better world. We don't like going backwards. So feel what that means to you. Because as I said, we are going into a time. So it's not surprising that 3i Atlas is kind of starting to show itself. Because again, we're being shown every so often. This is what we can do. This is what you can see. This is how you can feel. This is the next bit and the next bit. All the different other technologies that have now suddenly people have been downloading. I mean, the use of copper for the first time in something like 100 years, but we're not necessarily using it just to line the bottom of babies' cots. We're using it as like an antibacterial means. We're using it around our palms to support our one of our main chakra points in order to heal. Now, just going to check my notes, make sure I have covered everything. But yeah, I think that is the main points that I've been getting along. So just be very, very aware of yourself when you hear in the news on social media and things, whether it's come closer to Earth, whether it's how media does it, it's hiding behind the sun. Because remember, and Dee will back me up on this one, is that, for an example, when we were at GSIC, one of the first things we noticed was, because the moon was out, wasn't it? 'Cause it was in the evening. Is the aura around the moon changed? Because remember, they utilize the sun and the moon and the different planets with the different electromagnetic fields. That's why, for an example, about a week or two ago, it was really kind of like going close to, Mars, because it was probably utilizing the electromagnetic pull on that for whatever reason. I'm not even going to go into the science, and that's not my bucket. But just be aware. And how does it feel in here? Because I know that even when I saw the mothership back a year, 2 years ago appear on the beach, takes your breath away. But just because you can't necessarily see it this close, don't mean it's not there. And that's why you probably get a little bit of the up and down, your moods. Because again, see what's around. Anyway, I'm going down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Oh no, that was great. So Azria, you would agree with what mostly everyone is saying, what I've been getting, and everyone else, that this 3i Atlas is definitely, it's extraterrestrial in origin. It's not a comet, and it's helping us with our ascension and probably helping us with disclosure.
110%.
Yeah. Do you see, or you might not have got this transmission. You might not know this, but I'm going to ask. I spoke with a few people that think it's going to bring a little bit of destruction before it brings us elevated in frequency. Do you see that, or have you heard anything about that? Did you get that there might be a little bit of destruction that it brings?
What I'm getting in regards to response to that is, what is your, not you personally, but I would ask kind of a question back, is what is your awareness, what is your perception and what is your understanding of it causing all this disruption? Because again, one of the things I kind of would bring to people's attention, and I've learned this the hard way, like probably most people have, is what is your perception and what is your understanding? Because where we're maybe looking at destruction actually might be the means to an end. So for destruction for one person might not actually be destruction for another. So I think in answer to that, I do feel from a planetary perspective, yes, we will be having, I really strongly feel that we will be having more natural disasters. Yes, absolutely. And yes, that is terrible and horrifying, and unfortunately leads to deaths and things like that. So yes, that would be bad, because again, the plates are moving, you've got the different weathers, and so on and so forth. Because remember, when we first had the original seeders on this planet, all the continents and everything looked really, really different. So some of them either need to start moving back to where they were, hence having the volcanoes, hence having the different tsunamis, etc., because there's a lot of movement where all these signals are coming down, all these frequencies, everything maybe underneath is moving. That's why we're having some amazing discoveries of some of the arks and ships and ruins that we're finding right underneath the sea. So yes, maybe it is bad, but actually it's bringing up some amazing discoveries that is absolutely rewriting history. So sometimes, yeah, we do need that little bit of a movement in order to uncover. It's like the calm before the storm. But unfortunately, I think we've got it the other way. We've got the storm before the calm.
Gotcha.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I get it. It all depends on perception. Basically, old forms have to crumble before there's a new system. And especially if it's working on the poles, there's probably going to be some natural disasters. We're not, this isn't fear porn, and we can't tell you exactly where or when the disasters are going to happen, but just know that with a new world and with our world ascending and changing, there's going to be some shakeups and breakups, and there could be some tumultuous change. And Mother Earth is shaking off a lot of the, let's say, low vibrational, heavy debris, like a bunch of fleas, like a dog shaking off fleas. So there could be some rumblings, and we just have to be prepared for that, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was certainly getting in regards to, because of course vibration and frequency, you're gonna have a little bit of a rumble. It's kind of like when you get nice healing, you just get that nice little tingle. Imagine that's what the Earth's what's happening. Whoa, okay, that's what's basically happening to the Earth right now. Is she's kind of getting all this healing, and she's gonna go, "Oh, I like it. I like it."
Right.
I don't know what's happening with my fingers here, but I'm going to run with it.
I love it. But then with healing, sometimes or more times than, let's say, often more times than not, it gets worse before it gets better, because it, like, just like a wound, it has to come up and get really, really bad before it heals. So that could be one of the symptoms of this 3i Atlas, that everything has to come to a head before we are healed, so to speak. The planet heals. So it will be very interesting, but it is definitely not a comet. A comet, not a comment. I've been doing too many comments. Comet. It's definitely not a comet.
I really don't think so. And from what I'm getting, because at the end of the day, I mean, it comes down to that perception, doesn't it? I mean, there, as I said, some amazing scientific minds and brains on this planet, but they've got technology that we don't even know about yet. So we're trying to understand, and we're trying to translate all this information that's coming down and coming from different places. And it's really extraordinary, because you do get, so for example, in the observatories and that all around the world, they were saying within something like 6 seconds, every single one picked up exactly the same transmission. I think it was about a week, 2 weeks ago. They're probably way up to date now. But within those 6 seconds, it was exactly the same transmission that was picked up through AI Atlas. Again, it's just another step forward. It's just, in their words, it's just another test. It's kind of like, oh, let's see if they pick it up. Let's see if they pick it up.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. I got that
all around the perception.
Yeah. I got a long time ago, when I think I got to download that. It's like a mothership, but then there's an armada attached to it. So they could be inside the ship or around the ship. But that's what I got. I don't know. It looks like a big peanut to me. Let's show the picture again before we move on. I mean, doesn't it look like a big peanut?
It does. It's even got like the line all the way across it. But I mean, that just shows like our own technology, that how much we can pick up and how much we can't pick up. So it, to me, it definitely resembles a peanut. But I really love your point around, as you said, like the armada of kind of like other ships and things. So what people have been seeing, have clearly come from other star galaxies and stuff. But it really is a scouting ship. So it's also picking up a lot of information.
Yeah,
what I've just got. It's picking up kind of like, well, what are the plants doing? What are the trees doing? What are the humans doing? What are their feelings? What are their vibrations? What are their frequencies? So as much as it's putting all of these frequencies down, what I'm getting is it's also pulling a lot of that information and sending it out to the different councils. I think it's more to do with the different councils than anything else. I don't know if you pick up anything else on that, Dee, but
I think it's a little bit of everything. That resonates with me. And you can see, I get that there's like scout ships coming out of it. So you could see this could be like a big, like, mothership, and then the little scout ships or the little ships can come in and out of it like an armada. That could be too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel it's kind of like a reconnaissance. It's taking information and sending back the information. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And also, again, sorry, they keep on telling me the same word, but again, it's the perception of, okay, well, yeah, it could be sending out all of these different ships, but some people have in their minds that the little ships are maybe like made out of metal and are a certain shape and things like that, where actually, as I said, their technology is way more advanced. It could be more of an organic matter that is vibrating at quite a high frequency that we can't even see it, like a lot of the scouting ships are. that people have amazingly caught them. And I do have a couple of images that maybe I'll share that clients of mine have very, very kindly sent in of like scouter ships that are a lot lower, and some of them are blue. And you would have thought they'd be like white or flashing lights, but just kind of like this almost circle that's blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, and just on your point, that there has been images taken of the comet, of 3I Atlas, shining. Guess what color?
Blue. Yep.
So we're learning every single time we get an image or a feeling or so I just get so excited. So excited.
No, thank you for that. Yes, well, they're definitely planning some kind of Project Blue Beam because they need some kind of alien scare event, a false flag. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if the deep state tries to use 3I Atlas for this big Project Blue Beam scare event, but they're not going to trick us. We know better. We know the deal. They can try, and maybe they'll fool the sheeples and the ones that, the normies that have their heads in the sand like ostriches, but they can't fool people that watch my channel or yours. 1000%.
Definitely.
All right. So we're heading almost an hour. So I just want to do some quick, we wanted to get to the Area 51, and I'm going to show a little bit of a video. I'm not going to show the full video about Area 51 and the crash. It says crash, but I got a landing. So it says a crash, but that's bullshit. I got a landing. It's about a minute. I think I'll show the full video because it's only a minute. Hold on. There might be a little bit of, I'm doing a YouTube channel, so there might be a little ad beforehand, but I think we're going to be good. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to just watch this video.
Issues that matter the most to you. You're watching 8 News Now.
Tonight, the investigation into a, quote, incident involving a military aircraft near Area 51 is intensifying after the Air Force discovered, quote, tampering in materials in the desert. The 8 News Now investigators first to tell you late last month about that incident near Area 51 involving a military aircraft. The FAA even ordered all planes away from that area above Lincoln County, not far from the secret military installation. Well, after cleaning up the site, a spokesperson for Creech Air Force Base, where they fly drones, says, quote, investigators discovered signs of tampering at the mishap location, including the presence of an inert training bomb body and an aircraft panel of unknown origin. Remember, that's after they say they cleaned this all up. Right now, the Air Force and the FBI are investigating. Meantime, the Dreamland Resort, that's a website devoted to tracking activity in and around Area 51, reports the incident was an unmanned aerial vehicle crash.
This one pair of
Okay. First and foremost, bullshit. Bullshit what they just said. Let's just call it. Ding, 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 ding. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The bullshit detector is going off major. That was not an unmanned aircraft. All right, they did say from an unknown origin, but let's face it, folks. That was a visitation from otherworldly beings. Now, I did a read on Laura's View and Tarot 2. If you didn't watch the show, it's on my channel. I posted it a few days ago. It's episode 2 of Nicely Spicy. In that read, I got that it was a extraterrestrial craft by extraterrestrial beings, mostly Pleiadians, but not all Pleiadians were on the ship. Okay. It was a scheduled landing. And what happened was there has been an agreement with the off-worlders, the other, let's say the extraterrestrials, with most of our military, that they are going to cloak themselves until the individual countries and the world leaders decide it's the proper time for disclosure. However, the otherworldly beings, our galactic family, is sick and tired of our leaders deciding when we are ready to be part of the galactic community and when we are ready for disclosure. They know that we know about them. The extraterrestrials know that we know about them, and they know that we're ready and they're ready. So they said, fuck it, we're not going to go by your policies, and they uncloaked purposely. Now, when they uncloaked purposely for this scheduled landing, what happened, and I got this very briefly when Asri and I were talking right before we started taping the show, is that because they were uncloaked, and that wasn't part of the agreement between the off-worlders and our government, specifically here in the U.S. and Area 51, they sent the U.S. Navy, the U.S. military sent a drone to kind of intercede and to kind of throw it off so people would think it was more military and more human than off-world. What happened, though, was with that military drone that they flew to throw off people that would see the uncloaked spacecraft, is that the uncloaked spacecraft flung it. It was like, yeah, you think that this is going to do anything to us? Not that it was going to try to shoot it down, because they couldn't. Because as Ria said earlier, their technology outweighs and is thousands of light years above ours. It's like forget it. Ours is like a 10 engine. It's like archaic compared to their technology. However, they purposely sent that drone and they dismantled it with the technology, and that's what crashed, because they are sick and tired of our governments covering up their existence, and they purposely want people to see them. And in this specific instance, they specifically wanted people to see them. They wanted to see this landing, and they wanted to show people that their technology is far superior to the little rinky-dink, embarrassing technology of our governments, and more specifically our military. So that's what happened. Azria, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
I think you got it down to a T. I think that I would just add a little bit more on there in regards to, as you said, our star beings, our multidimensional friends, companions, families, are taking back control. Because yes, and it all kind of goes back to, let's shake everything up a bit, because a lot of people that are empowering that, not every single person. I mean, we can go down another rabbit hole here, and I won't go too much into it, but does need a shake up because they are lower vibrations. So it's the case of, you know what, guys, this world is going up and up and up vibrationally, and our frequency, and we are going into the other levels of dimension. So not staying at this 3D world, our world is going up to 5D and so on. So you know what? You want to stay in this 3D? You want to scare people to say that we're around? You want to, as you said, you want to set this schedule up around how you're going to tell people and when you're going to tell people. So I'm just very much following on from what you were just saying there, dear, around actually this is happening whether you like it or not, because this is what the planet needs to do. And this is the support teams that we've got. We've got the Pleiadians, we've got the Arcturians, we've got the Sirians, we've got the Andromedans, we've got the Lyrans, and we've got the Orions. And I know within your wonderful reading with when you're on Laura's show, you mentioned there around the Pleiadians as well. 110%. I don't know if it was definitely them, but that frequency has certainly been around a heck of a lot recently. I know with not only speaking with other individuals, but just in the general environment, there are certain places that do have that frequency. So yeah, those beings are actually going, you know what? This earth is upgrading.
Yep. Yeah. And I got that. There were Pleiadians on board. I got specifically, there were 2 high-ranking Pleiadians. They're considered royalty, and if not royalty, then they were high-ranking generals, and it was a husband and wife that were Pleiadians, and I'm getting that were kind of in. So I don't know if they're maybe royalty or high-ranking officials on the Pleiades, in the Pleiades, because I know there's a bunch of different planets in the Pleiades. Because the Pleiades is correct me if I'm wrong, is a star system, and there's individual planets, right, Azria? Okay.
Yes.
So there could be this, I don't know, I didn't get any specific planet from the Pleiades, because I think there's 5 of them altogether, star system. But I'm getting they were either royalty. I got royalty and high-ranking officials on that from the Pleiades. They were here for official business. There was more than just Pleiadians. I believe a lot of the races that you named that are working with the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And like I said, they purposely uncloaked. They didn't tell our military. It was a big F you to them, because they were like, we're tired of it. You think that you are in charge of disclosure, but you're not humans. No. We are far above your technology. You can try to send, measly, embarrassing drones, human drones, or, man-made drones to try to throw people off. So it looks like it's just another military operation or just a military craft, when it isn't. And yeah, they went fling, and the drone hit the ground and crashed. And then the actual spacecraft from extraterrestrial origins actually landed. So that's what happened in Area 51, folks, a few weeks ago. And of course, the lamestream media doesn't want people to know. They want to cover it up until they are ready for disclosure. But as Azria and I just said, the off-world beings, the off-worlders are like, no, a disclosure is happening whether you like it or not. We're going to uncloak. It is happening.
It's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been happening for a very long time now. But I'm getting more often than not, they're not waiting. They're uncloaking now. whether the governments want like it or not, it's tough shit.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, over here, I don't know, we didn't necessarily get the same coverage. I mean, I was like looking on YouTube and everything just to, as well as what I was getting, and just to see more about it, what was happening. And unless I was looking at the wrong thing, and anyone else watching here from the UK, if you guys get the same, we really didn't get, even if you put it in the search and try different, really not that much information about it. But the bit that we, the couple of videos that we do get over here in the UK about it is just how much, I just wanted to add this bit on, of how much they did try and cover up. The fact that this guy went out and they'd literally put a layer of dust, and I know it's in the desert anyway, but he said, I've been living here for like 40 odd years, and this bit has always had a bit of greenery. And he said they've just flattened it and put extra mud and dust and everything like that, and tried to literally like bury it. And where they've gone out in their trucks and things, they've covered up all of the dirt tracks, I think you would call them.
Yeah.
But there was 1 or 2 YouTube videos of just how much and how badly they've tried to bury it all. And that was the main thing that we get over this side. So if there's any other info in the UK, that would be great. But anything, if they really wanted us to know, they wouldn't try and cover it up. And as you said, in the media, always be careful and look out for the words people use, because it's kind of like, you have to believe this and you have to believe that. Sorry, it's something that I get very passionate about. was like, no, you don't have to. Or this has happened. Well, actually, let me go and check inside first. What is happening? How does that feel for me? Because a lot of what we hear is we have to, we need to. This is happening. If you don't do this, this will happen. Just be careful of listen out for the words as well.
Yep.
Is what I just got through. So I thought I'd pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, folks, we know, I think most of us, well, everyone that watches this show and ASRIA'S shows on her channel, they're not dumb. They weren't born yesterday. We know that they've been, yeah, exactly. So we know that the we call it the lame stream, not the mainstream. They're going to try to cover things up. That story about the crash landing, so to speak, at happened right outside of Area 51. It was buried in the news. And if nothing happened, why are they trying to cover it up? Why do they have the road blocked off? I lived in Las Vegas for about 5 years, and I used to see the Area 51 planes. They used to call it Janet's, just another non-existent terminal. They were white planes. They took off every half hour, white planes with like a maroon strip, no airline. It's very, and everyone very top secret. So there's a lot going on there. We saw a lot of things, highly unusual things in Las Vegas. Yeah, they call them Janet's. So if nothing was going on, why the secrecy? Why do they try to cover it up?
100%.
Yeah. We know that there's off-world beings. I've had visitations. ASRIA'S had visitations. We've seen our own individual craft in our own airs, on our own airs, and in the air in the UK, and in this, I should say, in the air in the skies in the UK. And I've seen them here off and in the skies in Massachusetts. And of course, when we went to what was it, Eastham? Is that what it's called? Where was Eastbourne? That's right. We went to Jisik. We saw lots of otherworldly craft, both driven. Probably they could have been commandeered by secret military, but they were off-world. It was definitely off-world technology, and there were extraterrestrials on board. But we do know that the secret space program, and we do have our military that does work with extraterrestrial beings, and they do pilot these non-terrestrial craft. So there's some really kick-ass super soldiers, and the ones that were like 20 and back, we met them at Jisik. So it's real, it's true, and disclosure, as ASRIA said, is happening. It has been happening, right?
Yeah, 100%. If you look, every so often there'll be something that's coming out. That more connection, light language is connection, channeling is connection, downloads are connection. Visualizations connection. As Dee was just saying there, what we're seeing in the skies is connection.
Yeah. When we were watching the show at Jisik, we could actually at one point, and I was standing next to Tina. Remember when one of the craft came really, really close to our balcony, and that wave of energy, and we all like pushed back because we could feel that wave. You can communicate with them, right, ASRIA?
Yeah. Oh, 110%. I mean, some people feel it more from here. Some people feel it more from the 8th chakra at the top here. But if you do, and as I was saying, like earlier, just going back to Jisik, when we saw the moon, and then there was the 2 different auras around it, or with this, they do the similar thing with the sun. If you feel and you believe that what you're seeing in the skies, those flashing lights, isn't an airplane passing by, go up, whether through here or through here, and ask. Because with free will, you've heard me before, it's your free will. So when you look up and you see, just send the message up going, if that is you, please, flash twice, flash 3 times, whatever. and you'll see it won't necessarily happen instantly. I mean, you might need to give them a minute because you're about like this tiny. It's gonna like need to send up the little light first. That's why doing gatherings is sometimes greater, i.e. GSIG, because there's loads of you, or C5s where you get a group together, because then you can send more of a concentrated energy up.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. But we are getting more and more contact all the time. But how does it feel for you? Thank you.
Right. And there have been people, and we've seen the videos online, that a lot of these UAPs, they'll cloak as regular planes, and then they'll uncloak, so it will look like a plane, and then all of a sudden it will be a craft, and then it'll be a plane, and people are like, what the fuck, oh my God. So just know that this otherworldly advanced technology, they can do anything. So sometimes you might get that feeling, and you look up and you go, oh, it's just a plane. But is it a plane? Keep looking, because it might just uncloak and show you what it really is. You never know. And before we go, Azria, can you let the audience know what's the best way to kind of call either your star family or any galactic beings if you want to have an experience or see them at night or even during the day? What's the best way to get them to show themselves?
That is a really, really good question. So first of all, again, it would be day or night. And if it's just following on from how we're viewing them at the moment, i.e. in the sky, normally certain times are better, i.e. 3, 4 in the morning, because again, the energies are different. Some people say the veil's thinner, etc. But and me personally, not necessarily go into a meditative state, but certainly into a place where you feel safe. So I would calm those energies down and then send your focus and attention up. Again, there's lots of people that are different levels along their journeys, etc. So one of the things that I would say is, again, just ask. You might be a person who's more centered in their heart. You might be a person who's more centered with their pineal gland. But again, it's that expectation. If you always have an expectation of it should be like this and it should be like that and it should, and I'm not saying clear your mind, because that's a bit tricky, but the key is the awareness. The awareness internally and the awareness externally. And I just realized I moved my fingers in the wrong way there, but anyway. So the best way is just to send the message up, send your intention as to who you're wanting to connect with, whether it's just one of the races, whether it's your particular guide, etc. And then see what happens. Because again, if it's even like when it's walking through the woods, also cameras are the best, because what you might not see with your eyes straight away, your cameras do.
Yep.
Your cameras definitely see a lot more than your eyes do, because again, our eyes have been kind of trained to see that much, where actually in our world around us, there's so much more going on. There's so much more happening at different levels, different vibrations and different frequencies. So if you've got an iPhone or a camera or any type of camera, just take a few, see what happens, zoom in.
Yep.
Hope that helps.
Yeah, it does, because we only see what one 1/1000th of the light spectrum. So
There
the
we go.
cameras,
Yeah, I know it was a number. Yeah.
Number. And I could be off, but I think it's, so don't quote me on that. I think it's close to that. Something like 1/1000th. Maybe it could be 1 millionth. I think it's 1/1000th. Could be more. But basically, we see a very, very tiny fraction of the light spectrum. So that's why cameras pick up a lot of these other dimensional, because that's what they are. They're from other dimensions. They're from other worlds, other dimensions, other frequencies, whatever. However, add your lingo, whatever you want to label it. So that's why taking pictures and using video and pictures will pick up things that your naked eye won't necessarily see. So that's really a really great tip. And also give it time. You know, you can't just expect, it could happen right away, but if you want to see them, or if you want them to uncloak and come to you, they might not be able to have, you know, they might be busy. They might not be able to come right away. So give it time, go out, connect with them, and keep on going out and looking up. Keep on going out and looking up. Okay. Don't give up. It could be something that takes a little while, or it could be you just happen to be at the right place at the right time, which happened to me in Colorado Springs. I just happened to look up and I saw TR3B, which we know our military has TR3Bs, but we know that's off-world technology, and that did originate from this world, definitely. Hence why they hide the TR3B triangles.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we do have some of our secret soldier or special soldier military piloting the TR3Bs that is off-world technology, but it's definitely off-world technology. And I got that there was both humans and non-humans on that craft when I saw it many years later. So you just never know. You just never know.
Fascinating.
Very fascinating. So, Azria, anything else that you wanted to let the audience know before we close up?
No, that's all good. I think the only thing I would say is thank you so much. As I said, this is always an absolute honor and pleasure having these conversations. I mean, I know I get a little bit too into it sometimes. It's just how the energy flows and how they're communicating. But no, I feel so grateful for being able to come on here and share this. And if anyone wants to get hold of me, Dee very kindly showed the website there, so alarianresonance.com, and then you got my email, asriabeckham@gmail.com. If you fancy continuing the conversations, finding out more about star lineages, healings, readings, etc., or just come and say hi. I said I will be doing more sort of group work and community work as time progresses, but so it's really nice to, as I said, be on here and meet everyone. So just wanting to send out lots and lots of love to everyone, and good luck with the journey so far, because I know we've just had this crazy full moon. I mean, it's hit me like a ton of bricks, but it's nearly over. We're nearly out of that energy. So
it would be nice to sleep normally, and just the headaches and just the pressure headaches. So all the information for Azria, her website and her social media and everything will be underneath in the description of the show. And yes, that full moon, it was a super moon. That's why it was highly intense, highly intense. So let us know, folks, in the comment section, because this is taped. We'll be lurking live later on. I'm going to put this out as a live later on tonight on my channel, and then I'll give Azria the tape and she can put it on her channel maybe tomorrow, whenever she wants. However, put it in the chat. Let us know how the supermoon, it was in Taurus last night, how it affected you. Also, Azria will be joining me and Kate Sterling and Peyton Lyons Gray for episode 3, I believe. Yeah, it's the third episode in how to clear demonic entities and how to get rid of negative energy and attachments. So we'll be taping that. I believe we're going to be taping that during the day on Sunday, and then I'll put it out on my channel as a live later on that evening, because Azria is across the pond as well as Peyton. So it gets a little late there, so we don't want to keep them up too late. Kate is on the East Coast with me. I believe she's in Florida. So yeah, she's on the East Coast like I am, but Azria and Peyton are across the pond. So I think it'll be easier if we tape it during the day. and then we'll put it out later at night, so it's not like a 10 or 11 o'clock over there in the UK. I know, especially now with the time zone change. Everyone's ready for bed at 8. It's like, oh,
pretty much.
yeah, yeah. So as many things that I can tape ahead of time. I'll keep of course, tomorrow night, my psychic live and my Saturday night live. If that's going to be truly live, and I won't be taping that. That will truly be live. But other than that, yeah. So that is it, folks. We both are sending you so much love. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you with ASRIA on Sunday. Until then, God bless you, and make sure you go out and look up, because you never know what you're going to see. Until then, bye, everybody.